Hi, I'm going to show you how to work with Python scripts for the Cosmos HPC cluster as maintained by Lunark for the course called Intro to Python for HPC as provided by NICE. Taking a look at the table of content, I will tell you why you want to use Python scripts, and then the exercise we're going to create a Python script and we're going to run a Python script. To do so, we're going to practice using the documentation of your HPC cluster, and in this case this is Cosmos. I already have it open here in a tab. You'll see me use it soon. And from that documentation we're going to create a Python script and run a Python script. So scripts are very important. You absolutely need them. And you absolutely need them because pasting Python commands by hand, by copy pasting, is useless. You can put just all of them in a file and run them in one go. Also, if you have all your Python commands in a file, it's called, by the way, a script file. It's a text-only file with Python code, a Python script file. Then you can share it with your colleagues. And probably you start with getting a script from your colleagues. Good. So this is why you absolutely need scripts, especially for harder calculations, because then you need to submit a job script. So you will need this. Let's start with exercise 1, create a Python script. Go to the documentation of your HPC cluster and answer the questions below. If you cannot find any helpful information, use the UpMax documentation about Nano. So I'm going to move this documentation to the left, and at the right I'm going to move the Lunark documentation. This is where we are. This is the documentation of Lunark. And let's take a look. There's a magnification glass, so that's super nice. There, let's make the windows nicely aligned. There. And we need to create a script file. Create script. Basic sales job. Let's do text editor. Let's take a look. Text editor. Text formatting. Useful Linux command. A basic job. Application stored as modules. A very long thing. Introduction to Linux. Maybe it's there. What about I just search for Nano? That is not there. Edit file. Transferring files and directory in Linux, frequently answering questions. On are the Slurm output, transferring multiple files, rclone, useful maybe it's here, useful Linux commands. Manage files and directory, make the cd, remove, move, copy, list the files, find files, disk usage, change file permission, text handling, list the content of a file. More is also with that. Grab or to nothing about editors here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use the UpMax documentation about Nano, because Nano is a very simple text editor. So here we see the UpMax documentation about Nano. This is how it looks like. It's the recommended first editor you use on an HPC cluster in a terminal. And you started using the word Nano, and you edit the file using Nano and then the name of the file. So to create a file called helloworld.py on Cosmos, I'm going to type nano space and then this word. So let's do that. So I'm already logged into Cosmos, and I'm going to do nano, name of the file, enter. And this is how Nano looks like. Next step, copy paste the following content into the script. Let's do that. I copy paste this. And here I do Ctrl Shift V. You always need Ctrl Shift V to paste to a terminal. Next step is saving the script. So to do that, I need to do write out, which is the old school way to say save. And these two things, this means Control and then Control O. So if I do Control O, I'll save my file. So I do Control O here. I see a file name now. Indeed, I want it to call the file like that. So I press Enter. And now it says wrote one line. It means it wrote one line to the file I wanted it to. The next step is closing the text editor. So just looking at this menu, I see here, I see exit with Control X. So I press Control X now, and now I've closed the text editor. Now we're going to verify that the script has its content saved, just to make double sure that indeed the content is there. So one way is to open the file again, like this. We can see it's there, so it had been saved. I press Control X to exit again. Another way is to use cat. That's very commonly done. Cat is the command to show the content of a file. Next step, we need to run a Python script. We're going to search 5 minutes maximally through the documentation. Let's take a look. So this is the Luna documentation, run Python script. Python, maybe it's there. That's a good candidate. I want to click on Python. Let's see if it's there. Module Spider, so this is how you find the modules for Python. Recommended use. Anaconda, I don't care. Conda, I don't care. Python distributions, I don't care much here. I want to run a Python script. Anaconda, Jupyter Lab, Lmod browser. Running your custom kernel. Right, I feel it does not show how to run a Python script. So let's use the UpMax documentation here. I'm going to copy the link address and paste it here. Alright, this is how you run a Python script. You use the word Python and then the name of the script. Let's do this. Python, name of the script, and enter. And there, it had already run my Python script. One thing you may have noticed that I did not load a module here. This means it's probably a very old version of Python. But if I do module load Python, I'm not sure how to spell Python on this thing, so maybe it needs to be capital P, so it needs to be capital P. Now I need to probably search it, module Spider Python. There, let's take a look if there's a Python module here, Python there. So here I can load a Python version. It needed to be of a specific version, module load Python. Now I need to also find out how to exactly load this thing. Sure, I can do that. Spider. I need to load that too. Sure, I can do that. There, put in the front. Here, and now I have loaded Python version 3.13, which is very new. And if I run the script again, it does exactly the same, because it was not a very complex script. Alright, but in this case, you didn't need to load the Python module. With this, I've showed you how to work with Python scripts using Cosmos, the Cosmos HPC cluster, for the course Intro to Python for HPC, as provided by NICE. With that, I wish you a very good day. Bye!